Right now, the first contest of the 2020 election season. We are live in Des Moines for the Iowa caucus.
And a contract approved for the incoming superintendent of Madison schools as he considers potential changes to the district's behavior plan.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
And thanks for joining us. Iowans have gathered tonight at nearly 1,700 school gyms and community centers participating in the first contest to decide the Democratic presidential nominee.
Some of the caucuses have ended and early, but the Democratic results have been delayed. The Iowa Democratic Party says it is due to what they call quality checks. President Trump won the Republican caucuses, a largely symbolic vote as he was facing no significant opposition. On the Democratic side, CBS News is expecting a four-way race between Joe Biden, Senator Bernie Sanders, Pete Buttigieg, and Senator Elizabeth Warren. While Iowa has only 41 delegates, this is a contest for national attention and momentum for primary season.
Historically, Iowa Democrats also have a good track record of picking the eventual party nominee. Amy Reed sat in on the caucus at the Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines. She's been following the voting all day. Amy, tell us what you saw where you were tonight.
Yeah, the voting wrapped up in that downtown Des Moines location. The second alignment vote, that's the total that's used to calculate state delegate equivalents, showed high results for Warren, Sanders, and Buttigieg. They came out on top in that precinct. So that's somewhat in line with those entrance polls that CBS News did. But as we said before, this is a spectator sport. We got a front row seat.
If your group is viable, you cannot realign.
I was just looking down there, I'm like, I think we got enough to make this happen, yeah.
Iowans clumped together the way they vote in this early stage. The view we're allowed from above is with people that came from out of state to watch.
I'm here as an observer. We come down here every 4 years to see the caucus circus, and it's playing out tonight.
People waited below to sound off for their candidates. Then they waited some more.
All the tallies are going to come in from every other place before this one comes in.
An hour in, and the bad news comes. This caucus location's votes have to start over.
We're just going to count, and we're going to keep counting.
After all, it is nicknamed a political circus. Still, this week for visitors was tough to beat.
You don't get to see your senator or your congresswoman talk for 45 minutes any other time. So you get here and you get to hear them talk and see what they're really like and see if they're driven.
So while we still wait for those final results to come in, remember that this is just round one of as many states across all states across the country wait for their primaries and caucuses, and even campaigns that aren't in that predicted top four that CBS News was saying. Those other campaigns have still announced events in other parts of the country, so they may still be sticking around. And with Wisconsin's primary so late in the season in April, we're sticking around to see who's going to wait out for us.
Yeah, this is really just the starting line. Amy Reed live in Des Moines tonight with the presidential caucus. Amy, thank you.
There are also satellite caucuses being held tonight for Iowa natives who are currently in other states. The only one of those in Wisconsin is at Marquette University in Milwaukee. Just 7 people took part tonight, but it was in a room full of people watching. Within a minute, 3 people voted for Elizabeth Warren, 2 for Bernie Sanders, and 2 for Amy Klobuchar. All will be added to the thousands of votes that take place tonight. After tonight, the first big presidential primary of the election season will be in New Hampshire on February 11th. After that, dozens of states and U.S. territories will hold primaries and caucuses ahead of Wisconsin, which will happen on April 7th. The state DOT is reminding people who do not have an ID to start the process as soon as possible. They say a driver's license is the most common form of identification used for voting purposes, but they are not the only options. The Wisconsin Elections Commission has a list of all valid forms of identification that can be used, and you can find that on Channel3000.com. President Trump will give his annual State of the Union address tomorrow in the House of Representatives.
Today, his lawyers and the Democratic managers gave their closing arguments in his Senate impeachment trial. Now, the spotlight is now on the senators as they explain how they intend to vote.
How much of our integrity should we sacrifice? How much malfeasance should we tolerate?
I cannot vote to convict. The Constitution provides for impeachment, but does not demand it in all instances.
GOP-controlled Senate is expected to take a final vote on Wednesday to acquit the president on both articles. Rush Limbaugh, the most prominent political radio host of the United States, says he is beginning treatment for lung cancer. The 69-year-old told his radio audience today that he was diagnosed with an advanced stage of the disease. He said the diagnosis was confirmed on January 20th. Limbaugh has been hosting the Rush Limbaugh Show in national syndication now for 31 years. He is a Republican Party icon and a close ally of President Trump's.
For a second straight day, the sun was out, giving us a little taste of spring, but things will go back to normal soon. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi with your first alert forecast.
Well, Charlotte, clouds have moved back in. That'll keep temperatures up a bit for tonight, but also keep those temperatures down a bit for tomorrow. Let's start out by taking a look at the time lapse from the WIC Skycam. A few morning clouds, and then we had bright sunshine for much of the latter part of the morning and early afternoon before the clouds started to roll back in as we headed towards sunset. And now skies are overcast, although those clouds are pretty high up above the ground. Some light snow showing up over northern Wisconsin. I'm not seeing any surface reports that that's even reaching the ground. Otherwise, temperatures will fall below freezing in the next couple of hours and stay below freezing for the next few days. In fact, we'll be in the 20s for much of the day tomorrow with a high of 29 expected under variably cloudy skies. After a dry day Wednesday, we'll see some snow chances Wednesday night and Thursday. I'll tell you how much we can expect in a few minutes.
Brown County officials in northeastern Wisconsin took time today to warn residents that flooding is a strong possibility heading into the spring season. Traditionally, natural disasters aren't a huge concern for the area, but crews say with the Great Lakes approaching record-setting levels, the stage is set for flooding to continue to be an issue. The Madison School Board of Education has approved the new superintendent's 2-year contract, officially welcoming Dr. Matthew Gutierrez to his new position.
Now, one of the things he'll have to consider, the district's behavior plan. The board is hearing about an update to that plan during a year filled with incidents, including a student shooting classmates with a BB gun. Madeline O'Neill explains, and it is new tonight at 10. Maddie?
The behavior education plan was implemented in 2014. It steers away from an approach relying on punishment and instead focuses on a, quote, more progressive approach to discipline that helps students learn positive behaviors. As we've reported earlier in the school year, some educators tell us it's not working to change behavior. Tonight, the board is hearing about the updated plan and its implementation.
We are constantly learning.
Lessons to improve the classroom for students.
I think that we have to find other ways of responding to incidents involving our kids in schools, such as BB guns, very dangerous situations, right, that we have to take seriously. But how do we ensure that our children and our students are getting support?
School Board President Gloria Reyes says an ad hoc committee looked into MMSD's behavior education plan about a year and a half ago.
Some of our recommendations really was to focus on mental health supports, social emotional learning, restorative justice practices.
Now the board is hearing an update from administrative staff on the plan from this school year.
Quite often what we see and describe as inappropriate behavior are symptoms of a student that is not engaged, supported, and connected.
District data shows African American students report feeling less safe and less like they belong than white students do. Main goals of the behavior plan include increasing that sense of safety and belonging, improving the effective use of interventions, and reducing the disproportionate use of suspensions for African American students.
Is ensuring that our kids are getting the mental health supports, that we are responding through restorative justices, moving away from exclusionary practices in our schools.
Reyes says learning the root causes of behavior and addressing them can improve the classroom for all students.
Ensuring that we are capturing early stages and early challenges and issues that our students may be faced with early on, and responding to it so it doesn't get to the point of someone bringing a BB gun to school.
Specifics on this year's behavior education plan, which is different for elementary, middle, and high school students, can be found online. We have a link to that on channel3000.com.
2 women are dead, a toddler wounded in a shooting this morning inside a residence hall at Texas A&M University Commerce. Officers arrived at the co-ed freshman residence hall to find the bodies of 2 women and an injured 2-year-old inside one of the rooms. They have not released a motive in this shooting. They haven't said if they were looking for any suspects. ISIS has claimed responsibility for a stabbing attack in London over the weekend that injured 2 people. people. The suspect, 20-year-old Sudesh Aman, had just been released from a London prison after serving just half of his 3-year sentence. He was convicted for publishing graphic terrorist videos online and stockpiling instructions on bomb making and knife attacks. He was shot and killed by police. Both stabbing victims are expected to survive.
A number of streets in central London were evacuated today as a suspected unexploded World War II bomb was discovered at a construction site. Hundreds of unexploded bombs from the war are buried across the country, according to a government spokesperson. They are unearthed from time to time, often during building excavations. The first patients arrived today at this new hospital in Wuhan, China, built in less than 10 days as the country tries to contain the coronavirus. A second facility larger than this one is also expected to open this week. Outside China, the virus has arrived in more than 20 countries. The CDC confirms 11 cases so far in the United States, with symptoms ranging from mild to severe. More are expected as American citizens continue returning from China. Their flights are being confined to 11 U.S. airports and will then be under mandatory quarantine for 14 days. UW Health is expanding its travel history questions in response to the coronavirus outbreak. They say based off recommendations from the CDC, patients coming to UW Health emergency departments and urgent care clinics will be asked about any recent travel to China. Initially, patients were only asked about recent travel to Wuhan, China, the epicenter of the outbreak.
UW system regents are considering a tuition hike for non-resident and grad students at 6 of its institutions on Thursday. The Regents Business Committee is set to vote whether to raise rates between 1.5% and 25% at Milwaukee, Oshkosh, Platteville, River Falls, Stevens Point, and Whitewater beginning this fall. Now, if approved by the committee, it'll go to the full board on Friday. Resident undergrad tuition has been frozen since 2013, but that restriction doesn't apply for out-of-state or graduate students. Still ahead tonight, how an advertisement that aired during the Super Bowl is already having a major impact on the UW Madison. Stay with us.
Start your next project at Menards and save today with 11% off everything. Shaw offers a wide variety of flooring options to give your home a fresh new look. Stop into Menards flooring department and start planning your next project today. Carpet is comfortable and adds warmth to any room. Vinyl plank flooring is waterproof, durable, and simply clicks together for an easy installation. Get 11% off all Shaw flooring right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Get more help with your laundry at the laundry cleanup sale now at the Brothers Maine. Save time and money with the latest in laundry from Whirlpool, Maytag, and Amana with 0% financing for up to 18 months. Get even more help with free delivery on washer-dryer pairs and our risk-free 30-day price and satisfaction guarantee. That's why we're the More Store. It's the laundry cleanup sale with more selection, more savings, and more help with your laundry. Only at the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
Winter in Wisconsin means snow, blustering winds, and sub-zero temperatures. Will your insulation keep your home warm? Frank Construction can always help. We're your roofing and insulation pros. We'll find cracks and air pathways in your insulation that are letting in the icy cold and hindering your comfort. With our thermal imaging and cutting-edge insulation techniques, you'll be sure that your home will be warm and energy efficient for many years to come. Visit frankconstruction.com today and prepare your home for the long winter.
Go in the snow plus MPG, your Subaru Ascent from Don Miller. With standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and 27 MPG highway, the Ascent will get you through in great shape. It's the roomiest Subaru ever. The Ascent has third-row seating and space for 7 or 8 passengers. The 2020 Ascent Premium. Lease from only $319 a month, 36 months, 10,000 miles per year, $19.99 due on signing. No security deposit. Don Miller Subaru, west on Odana or east side, High Crossing Boulevard, Madison.
Don Miller.
You wouldn't frame half a photo. Then why settle for using only half of your insurance benefits? Get the full picture of your health coverage with the iCare Medicare plan. With iCare, you know exactly what benefits you have and exactly how to use them. Plus, as a member, you get even more benefits like over-the-counter items at zero added cost and $0 premium. So what are you waiting for? Call now to learn about these great benefits and more, only with the iCare Medicare plan.
Hi everyone, it looks like our brief warm-up is over. Hattie's tracking temperatures dropping back below freezing in the forecast.
And we'll have all the results and reaction from the Iowa caucuses and what it means going forward.
See you Tuesday morning starting at 4:30.
Hamilton is hitting the big screen next year. Lin-Manuel Miranda, who stars as Alexander Hamilton, announced the news on Twitter. Disney is bringing the hit musical along with the original Broadway cast to movie theaters in October 2021. It includes previously recorded stage performances in New York at the Richard Rogers Theater, where the show first opened. 2 lawmakers in Sweden have officially nominated Swedish teenage climate activist Greta Thunberg for the 2020 Nobel Peace Prize. This isn't a first for her. Last year, 3 members of the Norwegian parliament nominated her for the prize. Last year, she was also among 4 people named as the winners of a Right Livelihood Award, also known as the Alternative Nobel, and she was named Time Magazine's Person of the Year.
Starting next week, all Madison area Hy-Vee locations will no longer be open 24 hours. Beginning February 10th, the 3 local stores will now be open 5 a.m. until midnight, 7 days a week. It's a change being made to the majority of Hy-Vee stores all across the country. The UW-Madison School of Veterinary Medicine receiving a lot of attention today after a Super Bowl commercial shared the story of Scouts' cancer diagnosis and treatment. Now, since that commercial first appeared on the internet mid-last week, the UW says it has heard from people all over the world. Companies, including Petco and State Farm, made large donations to the school. One of Scouts' doctors, Dr. David Vale, says this funding will make a difference in what's currently an underfunded and understaffed community of pet cancer research.
Not only will it help us purchase newer and advanced equipment, perhaps attract more world-class faculty to help us develop new cancer treatments, and to try novel approaches to treating cancer.
UW has not announced how much has been raised so far, as donations are still rolling in.
Guns N' Roses is kicking off its North American tour at Summerfest. They are headlining the American Family Insurance Amphitheater on the 4th of July. Pre-sale tickets are available Wednesday morning, and general admission goes on sale Friday at noon. We are still waiting to hear who the final 4 performers at the amphitheater will be.
Charlotte always loved Axl and Slash.
You know, do you see where they're also going to be? They're going to be at Wrigley Field. I want to say it's like July 26th.
You're a big GNR guy, right, Gary?
Hey, let's go together.
No, thanks.
Oh, come on.
November
I saw
Rain?
Cheap Trick back in '79. Okay,
there we go. We're going to get a list of Gary's concert appearances now. This is going to be an embarrassing list.
79.
Yeah, Osmonds in '73. We'll stop
Gary,
right there.
Stop,
Well, skies are going to be mostly cloudy for the next couple of days. It's a little sunshine in there, but having the sunshine yesterday made a big difference in temperatures, and we set a record high temperature at 51 degrees. Now, not only do we break the old record high of 47 set back in 1987, but that meant that for the first time on February 2nd, the high temperature hit at 50 or above in all of Madison's 100 years of weather records. And that leaves only 4 days now, January 14th, when the record high is 48, and January 19th, January 30th, and February 1st, where the record is 47, where the high temperature at Madison has never hit 50 degrees on any of those 4 days. So those numbers are dwindling down with time. Snow depth right now is still pretty prevalent in northern and central Wisconsin. A lot of it's starting to diminish here in southern Wisconsin. That's making a difference in the temperatures. Tonight, you can see just some flurries up in northern Wisconsin. A lot of that precipitation not reaching the ground. But at this point, we are looking for at least some chances for some snow in the Wednesday, Thursday time frame. Now, we'll see near normal temperatures beginning tomorrow into Wednesday, and probably for the rest of the week as well. Then light snow Wednesday night and Thursday could bring us a couple of inches of accumulation. A few flurries could linger into Friday. But the active storm track, a lot of times we look out in the Pacific Ocean to see if there's a big change in the overall weather pattern. And that's what we're seeing. A lot of cold air in the Gulf of Alaska. These pop-up clouds indicate the warm ocean waters being overridden by much colder air aloft. And then a cold front with the thicker clouds right there running right along the jet stream. Now, the jet stream kind of splits across the country right now, keeping much of the colder air up near the U.S.-Canadian border. The southern branch of the jet stream bringing a lot of the moisture, staying far to the south. The two don't really combine until they get near us or to our east. So that's why we haven't been seeing big storm systems in the Midwest. But the pattern becomes a little more active, and as this weather system dives to the southwest and then eventually heads toward the northeast, we'll see some snow chances from Wednesday night into Thursday. There's a big contrast in temperatures. It's below 0 right now in northern Minnesota, but St. Louis is still at 62 degrees. So that's a pretty good big temperature contrast across the Midwest. Off and on clouds here in southern Wisconsin over the next couple of days. Most of the precipitation staying well to our south. But then as we head from Wednesday night into Thursday, notice this massive snow starting to lift northeast. We're on the northern fringes of it with the potential for perhaps a couple of inches of snow before that pulls off during the day on Thursday. Now, as far as the snow amounts are concerned, one of the forecast models indicating about 4 to 5 inches over southeastern Wisconsin. Notice the sharp cutoff with very little snow north and west of the Dells. And the other computer model showing about 2 inches in Madison, maybe 4 inches over far southeastern Wisconsin, and again, that sharp cutoff to our north and west. High temperatures, for the most part, are going to stay right around normal or just a little bit above. For tomorrow, variably cloudy skies, high temperature at 29 degrees, so a colder day than what we saw today. In the 7 to 10 day forecast, you see those temperatures staying within a few degrees of normal. Best chances of snow are going to be Wednesday night and Thursday. Another chance of snow on Sunday, and then next week looks like snow chances Monday night into Tuesday and Wednesday night into Thursday. Maybe another weather system for the end of next week for the weekend. Any of those systems could be a little stronger than the forecast. Right now, it looks like a couple of inches possible from each of them.
It's just freshen things up a little bit outside.
Yeah, and enough to keep the shovel handy.
Okay, you really need to consider Guns N' Roses at Wrigley Field.
It always comes back to Wrigley Field.
Come on.
Tickets are too expensive, sorry.
Oh my goodness.
You got to save the money for your ticket, right? Of course. All right, Quintez Cephas announcing the next step towards a potential NFL career tonight. We'll have the story next in sports.
News 3 Now First Alert Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hi, I'm Travis Ganser. Looking to update your bath, shower, or your entire bathroom? Ganser is the answer with Bath Creations by Ganser Company.
Schedule your free in-home consultation or visit our beautiful showroom on the Beltline.
A local family-owned business of 4 generations.
So my son says to me, Mom, did you switch your Medicare plan yet? And I say, yes, Robert. Dad and I signed up for a Medicare Advantage plan through Senior Preferred. And he says, Senior Preferred? And I say, yes, Senior Preferred. They give us access to the doctors we want and the drug benefits we need. And he says, that's nice. So how is Dad doing? And I say, your father is fine. My living room, on the other hand.
Senior Preferred. Medicare Advantage plans built for you.
He's thinking recliner, you're thinking sofa. It's okay. Everyone wins at the President's Sale at Slumberland Furniture. 25% off unadvertised items and sale items marked down even more. This sofa for just $398. This bed just $298 with base. This Sealy Posturepedic mattress for only $394. And did you know you get free shipping with no minimum? And most items can be in your home in a week. Plus pay no interest for 4 years. The President's Sale at Slumberland Furniture.
You try hard. You eat right, mostly. You make time when you can. But sometimes life gets in the way, and that stubborn fat just won't go away. Cool Sculpting takes you further. A non-surgical treatment that targets, freezes, and eliminates treated fat cells for good. Discuss Cool Sculpting with your doctor. Some common side effects include temporary numbness, discomfort, and swelling. Don't imagine results. See them. Cool Sculpting. Take yourself further. Go to CoolSculpting.com for a chance to win $25,000.
Okay then, why do professional builders and remodelers choose nuns? Appears to be reason number 307, which must be that folks really appreciate the expert help of a nun's designer. Oh. And at the big box store, expert help might not be available. So why should you choose nuns? Yeah. Isn't it obvious? Nuns. Kitchen, bath, and flooring.
Now get a Ford F-150 with $11,489 in total estimated savings, or get 0 for 72-month financing.
Hi, I'm Travis Ganser. Looking to update your bath, shower, or your entire bathroom? Ganser is the answer with Bath Creations by Ganser Company.
Schedule your free in-home consultation or visit our beautiful showroom on the Beltline.
A local family-owned business of 4 generations.
Well, Quintez Cephas taking
the first steps towards a potential NFL career. The former Badgers wide receiver announcing on his Instagram page tonight that he has accepted an invite to the NFL Combine in Indianapolis. Now, the Combine starts on February 23rd. That's a Sunday. And Cephas will get the chance to put his speed and skills on display in front of some of the most important people in the NFL. Cephas announced after the Rose Bowl that he would forego his senior season to enter the NFL draft. He led the team in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdown receptions this past season. He's the first Badger to announce his participation in the Combine. Expect some others in the coming days. Well, it'll be a homecoming for 5 Badgers this Wednesday night when Wisconsin heads to Minnesota for the border battle on the hardwood. Now, there won't be any confetti or banners probably for them. Maybe a little bit more of a verbal welcome, if you will. But guys like Brad Davison and Nate Reavers aren't too worried about that. Davison thrives on shutting down the haters. And when we talked to the team today, they were focused on themselves and keeping up the positive mentality and energy they had when they beat Michigan State on Saturday.
I think that we got to just come in with the same mindset that we did on Saturday. Continue to stay together, play as a team, play for one another, and then believe in what the coaches are doing. And I think that if we continue to do that, then I think we're going to be a hard team to stop.
On the women's side, freshman Sydney Hilliard winning Big Ten Freshman of the Week. The former Monroe cheesemaker averaged 15.5 points and 8.5 rebounds in 2 games this past week. The Badgers lost in overtime at Indiana, where Hilliard put up a career-high 23 points, but they beat Illinois yesterday. They'll host Minnesota on Thursday night. Well, if you're heading to the NBA All-Star Weekend in Chicago in 2 weeks, you might catch a glimpse of a big part of the Bucks bench mob. Pat Connaughton has reportedly accepted an invite to show off his skills in the dunk contest. Giannis was the last Milwaukee player to partake in the very popular competition back in 2015. So far, the other contestants will be Aaron Gordon, Derrick Jones Jr., and Dwight Howard. But make no mistake, the guys on the Bucks know who the winner will be.
Honestly, if Pat's in it, something to just show off his vertical. I remember a couple years ago in the Combine, he had the highest vertical. I think he still may hold that record. So just something to show off his bounce and just hold it down for the Bucks.
Finally, the U.S. women's national team with a dominant win over Costa Rica 5-0 in the Olympic qualifying championship tonight. That means they win their group and they'll face either Mexico or Canada in the semifinal round. Now, if they win that match, they'll clinch a spot in the Summer Olympics this year in Tokyo. We'll be right back.
Preston Horan with the goals. Press on the move. Beats Kodo in the box. On the right foot. Shot. Goal. She's got.
The Real. Authenticated luxury consignment. From Gucci, Hermes, Louis Vuitton, Rolex, Cartier, and hundreds more at up to 90% off retail. All authenticated by our experts. Shop authenticated luxury the sustainable way, only at The Real. Get 20% off select items with the code REAL. The Real.
It's perfect. Thank you for choosing our home. Here's a list of our favorite spots to help you live like a local. And here is our Spectrum Wi-Fi password and a channel guide to help you settle in.
Did you say Spectrum?
Experience the fastest starting speeds for the price with Spectrum Internet. At 200 megabits per second, you'll enjoy faster surfing, streaming, and gaming. Switch to Spectrum Internet for $44.99 a month. Call 833-902-4499. Then lose yourself in the best in entertainment with more HD and more free on demand. With thousands of free titles to choose from and the best in live TV, there's always something on. Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Plus, download the Spectrum TV app for more ways to watch. Call 833-902-4499.
It happened again. You guys were supposed to leave yesterday.
Is that my robe?
Is it?
Lose yourself in the best internet and TV with Spectrum. Switch now from $44.99 a month each, all with no contracts. Call 833-902-4499.
Explorer. Drive it today with 0% financing plus $1,500 retail bonus cash. See your local Ford dealer.
The number of uninsured Americans rising. The cost of prescription drugs rising. The threat to people with pre-existing conditions rising. The good news? So is support for the one candidate who'll do something about it. As mayor, Mike Bloomberg helped expand coverage for 700,000 people, including hundreds of thousands of kids. As president, he'll lower drug costs and ensure everyone without coverage can get it. That's a promise. And unlike him, Mike actually keeps his.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Our big pet care sale is going on now at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. We're your animal experts with great deals on a massive selection of pet food, supplies, and more. Right now, get $10 off assorted bags of Blue Buffalo dog food. Get an instant $20 Farm and Fleet gift card when you buy a Seresto flea and tick collar for cats or dogs. And special buy Aspen Pet pillow beds are only $8.99 while supplies last. Don't miss our big pet care sale going on now at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly.
Gary's here with the final check of your forecast.
Well, things pretty quiet out there. A couple of flurries up in northern Wisconsin. Those aren't even reaching the ground. Nothing here in southern Wisconsin. We'll expect some snow from Wednesday night into Thursday. One of the computer models showing a couple of inches in Madison, more to the southeast, less to the north and west. The other computer model shows maybe a couple more inches in Madison, but again, a very sharp cutoff, so depending on where that occurs, that'll determine the snow amounts. Tomorrow, just a mix of clouds and sunshine, a little colder, high temperature at 29, and then that 7 to 10 day forecast calls for chances of snow Wednesday night and Thursday. Sunday, Monday night into Tuesday, and then Wednesday night into Thursday of next week, with temperatures pretty close to average through that whole time period.
This hasn't been too bad, really. I mean, a little snow and
still haven't been below zero either this winter in Madison.
Just jinxed it. Thanks, Gary. Thanks for joining us.
Do something good. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Okay.